Welcome everyone to the Genesis G90 night review. So the first thing I want to show you as you approach the vehicle, or if you just press the unlock button, check this out. The mirror will unfold, excuse my shadow, and you get the Genesis logo right there. That's on both sides. That looks really sweet. In this video, I'm going to show you the exterior lights, the interior lights, ambient lighting, and see how the headlights do and go for a test drive. Let's get started. So to start things off right away up front, you have some really menacing headlights and this massive grille. I do have a full daytime review if you want to see all of the details. This is going to be all about the lights. So take a look at this blinker. This is actually part of an accent light and daytime running lights. You've got these quad beam LEDs. It's almost like crystallized in there. The blinker is really bright. That marker light is bright. And then check out the accent light, the blinker on the side of the vehicle as well, instead of actually in the mirror. So this Genesis G90 is totally loaded. This is the 5.0 Ultimate. You can get the 3.3 liter twin turbocharged V6 model as well, the premium. But this 5 liter Ultimate is probably the way to go. It's a really dark, deep blue paint. Looks great. You actually have 19-inch wheels instead of larger wheels like typical luxury sedans. And then as we come to the back, got that really large LED blinker built into that and this massive LED light bar that runs across the entire area, and you kind of have two separate areas on the top, and then LED license plate lights. The G90 actually has a feature where you can just stand by the trunk and it will automatically pop open, or you can press the key fob, but look how well illuminated this trunk is. I mean, it's not the biggest trunk considering how big the vehicle is, but it is still really well illuminated, just like you'd expect in a luxury car. And to top things off, you got these illuminated buttons right here, and it will automatically close for you, just like that. Now the G90 Ultimate is where you really want to spend time, is in the back seat. Take a look at that little light at the very bottom. You've got a really nicely illuminated area. You've got a couple of screens, and then you've got almost got like a crystallized LED light up above. Let me show you everything that you get back here. All right, so first of all, in the back seat, you've got this lighting on both sides where your feet go. And even on the doors, you've got memory settings. You've got this ambient lighting with this nice wood trim, and I like the gentle color that we have here. But the biggest news is all of this that you get right here. So the Ultimate gives us power adjustable left and right seats, but this right side gives us so much. And on here, you've got a ventilated seat section, your own climate controls. You've got the same kind of control knob that you get up front that I'll show you in a little bit. And check this out. You literally even can control this screen in front of you. There's a screen in front of each seat, and it's just like it is up front. You can control the music, the navigation. I mean, you can literally see everything on here. It is really awesome. So you can seriously be just a backseat driver back here if you want. You can enjoy the view of the frontal area and just enjoy actually being a passenger back here. And I'll show you even more in the full daytime review. One quick snippet is that you can move that seat. So you have a ton of space back here with just a push of a button. Plus you get this row of lights that literally looks like little crystals up here. It's just a nice place to be. But when you go up to the front, just like I showed you earlier, just look at that Genesis logo. That's really massive. I think it looks great. Every time that you enter the vehicle, you can turn that off or on. Even though the back seat is really cool, you've got a lot of different cool ambient light colors in here that I'll show you in a little bit. Nicely illuminated area and some very plush, comfortable seats. All right, now as we finally take a look at the interior, we've got this nice ambient light that runs under the door right there. All of these switches are illuminated, your memory settings, your door handle, the window switches, all that good stuff on here is nice and illuminated. To the left of the steering wheel, that button on the left is to control your interior illumination. And then the steering wheel itself, again, has that nice gentle color on here. For a vehicle of this price, I kind of thought it would have all digital for a display, but I really like having actual physical gauges too. Leave your comments below, but you do get this digital display in the middle, which I'll show you more of that in the full review. And then integrated kind of right into the dash, tucked under some leather, you get your full display here, which is a touchscreen, and it can be controlled with a command knob. So this is kind of your home main menu, and you can customize a lot of stuff on here. I'm not going to go into detail, but if you go to setup and then you go to vehicle, this is where you can control some of your settings. So head-up display, driver assist, I'll show you the head-up display in a second. The lights, so you can control your ambient lighting on here. The brightness, you can turn it off, you can change the color, and you have these different colors right here. And I like all of them. I think they all look great. It's kind of nice to be able to change it sometimes, or you can turn it off if you want. Also in the settings, if you go to display, something that I really like. So first of all, you can change the illumination for the front and the rear seat, which is kind of cool. You can have an automatic or night or daylight, just like most, but the biggest thing is that you have a blue light filter. And I've talked about this in other vehicles like the Hyundais that I've shown you recently, where you can have the blue light filter on to help reduce eye strain and essentially help you not to be so stimulated and affect your sleep. And you can even schedule it, have it automatic, which is really awesome. The watch below that is glowing nicely, and then you've got all these illuminated controls here as well. For your radio, you actually get physical knobs. You got a nice little ring around those. Stop start button over there. Your climate control buttons are all here, and they are illuminated well, have nice clean backlighting. All of these buttons and switches are just nicely done. Next to the shifter, you've got parking sensors, and then your camera. Let's go ahead and shift into reverse so you can see that. Check that out. You got a really nice resolution camera, and I am sitting under a light right now, but that just goes to show how well you can see. And to top it off, you have the blind spot view monitor. So if you put your blinker on, it's going to show you a camera right next to you, just like the recent Hyundai models as well. So just an extra little safety feature. This is the command knob that you can control your radio with. You have a couple of shortcuts up here, a nice illuminated ring, decent material around here, and then your comfort controls for your ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, heated seats, same thing for your passenger. There's a little backlit USB port and wireless charging bin right here that does have a little bit of lighting in it, which is pretty sweet. And then the cup holders do have tiny little lights inside of them as well. And even the center console has some light inside of it, so that is great. Your footwells also give you some illumination. And then take a look at the dash. Underneath that wood trim running across all the way over to that door over there that has that same nice LED strip of ambient lighting. And one last thing here, a softly lined and illuminated glove box. Right up above, you get all these light controls. You just have a standard moonroof, no panoramic roof, but you got a really nice sound system in here. And then you got the same crystallized LED lights that are super bright. And then for those of you that care, you do also have a vanity light on each side. To my surprise, the rearview mirror is not a frameless mirror, but it is still automatic dimming with garage controls. And then right in front of us, we have our head-up display. Shows you a ton of good information. You can turn that off and customize that as well. And then as we peer out in front, taking a look at our LED lights, a really nice, wide, long beam pattern here. Got a little dip for the oncoming traffic. The IIHS gives you a top good rating with these headlights. They are not adaptive, but we'll go ahead and put them out on the road and test them out. Turn the high beams on, got a pretty good spread. Looks a little narrow. We'll see how well it is in the full test drive. There are no fog lights, so we'll see how the immediate distance does in our test drive. All right, y'all, let's get going in this Genesis G90. So in this test drive, I just want to give you an idea of what it's like to drive the Genesis at night, see how well the headlights do. Some of you for entertainment, curiosity, and some of you because you're going to buy it and you want to know how well it does at night. So I do have a full daytime review if you want to check that out with some more of the driving impressions, but I'll give you a little bit of the driving impressions in this one as well. So first, right off the bat, the headlights are very nice and the car is just super smooth driving. It is a joy to drive, an absolute joy to drive in a few different ways. So right off the bat, we are starting off in comfort mode, and this first road that we're going to get on is not it's actually, you know, pretty well illuminated, but we will get on a couple of really dark roads, see how the automatic high beams do, see how well the headlights do in a distance and around corners. Get on it. And this V8 is definitely fun. It's not a burner of a car, it's not a sports sedan, but it holds its own. It gets up and gets out of its own way. So even on this well illuminated road, you can still see the beam pattern. It looks good. It lights things up pretty well so far. Like I said, we'll get on a real dark surface in a second. I'm curious with these lights if I turn the automatic high beams on. Nope, automatic high beams are on and the high beams are staying on the dim section. So the low beams are on instead of the high beams, probably because of those street lights. I'll let you know when those turn off and on, but right off the bat, we have automatic dimming side mirrors, which is always nice. In fact, our high beams did turn on momentarily and they just turned off when that car went by me. But automatic side dimming mirrors on both sides, and they reverse tilt, and you got your automatic dimming mirror right in the middle. Now before we get on our darker roads, I want to talk about the ambiance in here. It is fantastic. I love the lighting. I love the blue light filter capability, the ambient lighting, the choices of different colors. Everything looks great. The steering feel of the car is good, but not the best. It's not great, but like I said, it's not a sports sedan. This car is not meant to be like that. It is straight up luxury sedan, big, bold, powerful, comfortable, and plush. I'm gonna put it in sport mode just for a takeoff here. And like I said, the car gets up and moves. Turn that off. Low beams are on. Low beams have good distance. High beams definitely light that up well. Let's see how the low beams do going around this corner. And we don't have an adaptive function, but these are still doing a really good job. These headlights have a really wide spread. That is something that I always look for in these headlights. I'm going to turn the automatic high beams on, and they are on right off the bat. I can see way up ahead. You can see the street markers. If I turn them off, the low beams still have good distance. I'm happy with that. Even out into the ditches right against that tree line, that has a solid line of light. So even without fog lights or any wide angle lights on this car, it's still doing really well. I'm surprised that they don't offer adaptive lights, but I'm not sure you're really gonna miss them. And according to the IIHS, you still have really good results going into corners as well. High beams are still on. There is a street light to the left, and the high beams did actually turn off for a sec, and they turned back on. And just so far ahead, you can see really well. So as the price would suggest, you'd expect some really good headlights, and that's what you get. Low beams on. There's definitely a significant dip on that oncoming road side, and that's to help prevent blinding anybody. But those have done a good job. The automatic high beams against traffic or against lights, and just the actual headlights in general are doing such a nice job. Now, like I said, if you want to see more, be sure to check out my full daytime review, but just look at the width. You can see across the span of the car, width is good. I'm really surprised at how well these are doing regardless of fog lights or not, but definitely taken care of in this G90. And let me know what you think of the ambiance in here. Let me know what you think of this night video. I plan on making some more. Be sure to watch the full review. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.